The Rational Optimist by Matt Ridley. During his travels, Charles Darwin came in contact with a tribe of hunter-gatherers. Quote, "Some of the Fuegians plainly showed that they had a fair notion of barter. I gave one man a large nail, without making any sign for a return, but he immediately picked out 2 fish and handed them up to the point of his spear." No common language was needed to understand the bargain that they were agreeing to. Hi and welcome to the BookLab. I'm Björn, and this is a place where we bring you the best book recommendations when it comes to philosophy, psychology, human nature and human potential every week, so make sure to subscribe. Today we're going to talk about The Rational Optimist by Matt Ridley. Matt Ridley is a British journalist, author and scientist. Before The Rational Optimist, Ridley wrote several other books including The Red Queen, Sex and the Evolution of Human Nature, Genome, the autobiography of species in 33 chapters, and The Agile Gene. In The Rational Optimist, Ridley presents an optimistic view of human progress and prosperity throughout history. The main thesis of the book is that human civilization has continuously improved over time due to exchange of ideas, the specialization of labor, and the accumulation of knowledge. Ridley argues that this progress is driven by what he calls collective intelligence, which arises from human interaction, trade, and collaboration. Ridley challenges the prevailing notion of pessimism by presenting evidence that demonstrates how life has consistently improved for the majority of people throughout history. He argues that increased specialization and trade have led to greater innovation, higher living standards, and improved well-being for individuals across the globe. The big spark that started to separate Homo sapiens from other animals was when we discovered economics and trade. At some point in history, humans started to exchange services and goods with each other. This was the birth of progress. Progress in this case is defined as when technology and habits change faster than our autonomy. This eventually led to the division of labor, and the more humans started to specialize, the more our output increased. Let's turn to Adam Smith for an example here. When a production process is divided into a series of tasks and each laborer focuses only on one of those tasks that it takes to produce a good, then we can produce more to a higher quality and to a lower cost. Doing only one of a series of tasks that it takes to create a good, let's say a nail in the olden days for instance, might not be as fun and fulfilling as doing the whole thing yourself. But when we separate the work, one person heating, one person shaping the nail, someone else is doing the hardening, another one doing the packaging, then we get something magical, because damn, the division of labor, it has really skyrocketed growth for humanity and provided prosperity for a lot of people across the world. A great metric for prosperity is time. How much time do we need to spend working and toiling in order to be able to enjoy a pleasure or a good? Quote, "An hour of work today earns you 300 days of reading light. An hour of work in 1800 earned you 10 minutes of reading light." Ideas such as the division of labor plays a huge role when it comes to economic growth, but so does technology. New energy technologies, for instance, allowed textile workers to produce as much output as it would take 20 minutes to produce in 1785. That same amount took 1 minute in 1850. Technology allows us to, quote, "to make a smaller quantity of labor produce a greater quantity of work." Adam Smith. Coal was another game changer that allowed for a leap in specialization of production and diversification of consumption. We have now noticed the downside of it. Today we are discarding the technology, replacing it with better energy sources, but we're still keeping the benefits that it gave us. Technology has brought us a lot of good stuff, but this era of rapid technological innovation also has some aspects of it that brings a lot of uncertainty and unease into many aspects of human life. A few generations ago, it was almost unimaginable that you would not continue with your family trade of being a carpenter, a weaver, a blacksmith, whatever. And these days, many people think that, well, will what I do and what I'm specialized in even be relevant in a few years, maybe even a few months. And combine this with our innate negativity bias, the tendency to put more emphasis on negative events and facts than positive ones, and we have a recipe for anxiety and uncertainty. I've been needing a book like this. I'm an optimist at heart, but these last weeks have really taken a toll on me. We have had some gang shootings where I live, we have war in the news, we have riots, we have rising interest rates, we have people burning the Quran to just to upset the Islamic world here in Sweden. If I watch the news, then things look kind of bleak. In an age of uncertainty, having a positive outlook of where humanity is heading, it works kind of like a protective shield against anxiety and worry, regardless if it comes from rational optimism or even irrational sources, such as maybe you believe in manifestation and that you create your own universe, or you believe in a higher power. Wherever your source is, it helps. Attitude is everything, and having a positive outlook puts you in a great position in order to take the creative action that is needed to be able to solve the challenges that we humans have ahead of us. Pessimist says that the world is doomed if we continue as we do, but notice the conditional there, if. The thing is, we won't continue as we do because everything changes all the time, and we take on new strategies and we avoid situations and we solve problems along the way. The world will not continue as it is. That's the whole point of human progress. Before we get into the verdict of this book, I just want to say, if you like this content, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more book reviews. It really helps me. And also, if you want to support BookLab, join my Patreon for exclusive content. I picked up this book to regain hope. Matt Ridley's analysis of the world is not perfect. I think he underestimated the impact of global warming, for instance. But that said, his argument for the value of exchange of ideas, goods and services, and how it has put humans in a unique position where we're able to handle various difficulties and still improve living standards throughout the world is very convincing, to say the least. I picked up The Rational Optimist thanks to this book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. At the end of this book, you have a long list of reading recommendations, and it's slowly becoming my go-to reading list for reading inspiration. Similar to what Charlie Munger's reading list was for me a couple of years ago. I really recommend you to watch my review of this book. It's an excellent book, and it's my latest entry to the great books list, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and you will see more books that comes from this guy's reading list. One of them being The Beginning of Infinity, Explanations That Transform the World, another very positive book about human progress. If you're like me and you start to doubt if humanity is heading in the right direction, then pick up The Rational Optimist. It will bring you some hope, and you will learn a thing or two about the open market, trade, the exchange of ideas, and it has some quite remarkable points. You can check out Factfulness, another book that gives us hope about the progression of the human race. I'm going actually on vacation for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks I think, so I might not put up any videos, but I'm back after that with weekly book reviews just like usual. Let me know in the comments what you are reading right now, because I love to hear what you guys are into, and I love to pick up a book recommendation or two from the comments. Until next time, Björn out.